Jackery's at 83%. Power on.
Welcome to use air heater. Start heating level 10.
That's it. Turn her on. Starts to pull power. Diesel heaters got heat. Oh, I'm stoked that we got that, baby. Rudy! We're at the shop, buddy. Hey, bro. We're at the shop. We got some more goodies to put away. Hey, Cal. Look where we are, bro. Yeah. Hey, let's get your dog house all set up here so you can go in. So when we get to the shop, I gotta set up the ramp so Cruzy can go play inside the ambulance. There you go, buddy. It's a bit of a rainy and gloomy day outside today, and I was originally gonna shove it out into the backcountry, but I don't really feel like going out there today. So we decided we're gonna come to the shop here and work on some projects. I'm getting drawn two different ways. I have some cable management, some cleanup to do back here, but I also have those amber fog lights I would like to mount on this thing. Where do I, can you hear that? That's that knockoff diesel heater on the opposite side of my shop. Inside of a van, those dry air heaters aren't exactly quiet. Come listen to this thing. Imagine this inside of your van. It makes quite the ruckus. It'd probably be a little bit quieter if this was outside. This is the air intake. There's a little bit of a noise coming from here. This is normally outside the vehicle. But other than that, this thing's pretty noisy. It's so warm though. So if you guys missed that video, I have the exhaust pipe here plumbed out the bottom of the door. There's a piece of aluminum down here. I did a big test the other day. The aluminum stays cold, which doesn't harm the rubber seal on the bottom of the door. And the exhaust pipe is right there. I think it's pretty cool that we're heating the shop with one of those heaters. Okay, what are we doing first? I think we should, I don't even know. We're gonna get this vise mounted onto this bench. The bolts I bought for this one were definitely way bigger than the other ones. The other one came with bolts. Oh, that's good. Oh, good. Bada boom. It's a tiny one. It's about the width of my hand here. It's perfect. Doing some cable management here, running the cables nice and neatly down the wall. Kind of like the same thing that you would do in your van, just to make everything look all nice, neat, and pretty in where all your van wiring is at. Sometimes taking the extra step to do things like this is what makes and breaks a project. Like when you're in your van, when I first started doing my electrical in the van, it was pretty neat and tidy, but every time I added something new to it, it got a bit more cluttered, a bit more messy. Now, in where my wiring is in my van, it's kind of a bit of a gong show. Where sometimes I wish I would have just slowed down a little bit and did things like this. But sometimes, I don't know, I get very impatient, don't have the time, or something comes up, I'm like, screw it. And just slap it together. Another great thing for cable management is these little tiny square things. They stick on the back and they have little slots around here for you to slide a cable tie through to tie any kind of wiring and stuff down. I actually use these on the roof of my van to hold down some of my solar cables, but on the roof, what we did is we stuck it to the roof and then we poured that self-leveling lap sealant over top just to kind of hold it to the roof itself. But these things are pretty handy. Super clean. Both plugged in here, underneath there, boom, down to the side into the power bar. So now when I want to turn these on, I got to hit one switch. That's it. That's the only thing I want to use that power bar for, is anything that's going to be stereo related. So just like bang, speakers are on, good to go. This unit here plugs into my computer, so it just turns on when my computer turns on, and that's it. USB powered. Man, I love this. And that little light there, let me shut this off. That little light there, boom, ta-da! So now when I need to do something where I need to see, I can use this spot here, and we're gonna do one more over there. So I bought myself some amber lights for the front of the van. The reason why I bought amber is I find that when my headlights are on, which are like a super bright LED, and my light bar is on right above, I have a light bar right up there, right up top there. I find that when I'm in the backcountry and it's raining, snowing, or just like all around wet, I find those white lights don't do very well for like cutting through it. It's very distracting on the eye a little bit. So I want to add more lights below my own headlights and slightly above them. So here's what I'm finding. Because I got a light bar up here, if it's raining and you turn that on, all you see in front of you is all the raindrops. Or heaven forbid it's snowing, you can't see nothing because it's all showing up in that. So I want to mount lights below my line of sight here. So I want to put one amber light here pointing outwards, and then two down there, and another one up here on this side. I picked up some lights from Amazon, and I don't even know what they look like yet. I haven't had a chance to plug them in, but yeah, so one of these is a flood, one of these is a spotlight. We're gonna have to wire them all up. So I got the jackery out. This is such an easy way to test things. You buy one of these with the ends on it, and then you just like, seriously, just plug her in, push the power, and connect it. So because I took one out of one box and one out of the other, I don't know which one's what. And these boxes don't say. Like nowhere on here does it say, oh, this one's the flood. On the back. On the back here, it says spot beam, flood beam. Back of this box, type, spot beam, flood beam. Same box, just, all right. Let's wire these bad boys up. I'm gonna put some plastic between these two so they don't accidentally touch. There we go. Now let's see. Boom. There we go, it works. So that one's the spot one. It's got a very small, narrow beam. So I'm thinking maybe I might put this one down on the bottom so it kind of points way up the road, and then put the flood ones up top there. Here we go. Boom. Oh, that's a good one. That's the flood. I should have just gotten 4 floods because that's a great. So I'm wondering if I should put the floods up top just to kind of wash the road out, and then the bottom one's just like the spot so it carves right through everything. I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna put the floods on the top. Oh wow. So because we got the whole front winch and hitch system up here, it's really kind of limited the space. Man, I could mount them right there. Oh, there's already holes there. Well, that could work. So I'm underneath here looking, and there's already pre-done holes here outside of the top plate that holds my winch on, and it's even on both sides. So I'm actually just gonna like drill those out a bit bigger and use those holes right there, be perfect. I don't really know if I want them out that far, because then having them out here makes them unprotected. Like there's nothing in here. So if something were to grab it or a branch pull it, because I do shove it through some crazy areas, at least here I think it'll be a bit more protected. We're gonna go right there. Oh yeah, it'll work. Okay, where's the neck? That's why I bought this. Oh yeah. Now you're talking, boy. Now you're talking. All right, so the bolt's done through there, and this one looks pretty secure. So yeah, and then when I finally bought that light bar that's up on the roof, it changed everything. Like it's so nice to be able to get up in the backcountry in the morning, go for a drive, and be able to see like any wildlife or anything that's going on out there on the trail. Because before I used to just sit still when I got up in the morning and not drive anywhere. Now that I got the big light bar, it allows me to hit the road first thing in the morning. My big thing out there is I don't know if someone's out there on a dirt bike in the morning or something like that. I mean, if you hear it, it's a different story, but some of those dirt bikes and quads that are bombing around the backcountry, if there's a bunch of hunters going out in the morning and they don't got any lights or anything like that on there and they come around a corner real quick, that's why having the light bar for me out there is super important, because the last thing I want to do is wreck my day and wreck somebody else's day. Or wreck an animal's day. You know what I mean? So that's why adding these little amber ones are going to help just cut through all the different weather types out there. I didn't do any research on I got fat fingers. I didn't do any research on lighting when I first bought my light bar, or the thing, you know, the differences between different colors. If I would have read that having a combination of both amber and bright white is the ideal combination, I would have bought a combination at the beginning, but I just bought white. I didn't know how important the amber color was. All right. Now we're going to take a look at mounting the other ones up here. I bought these little brackets from Amazon. So I'm not sure if these things are going to work or not. They go onto the hood. So just say this is the hood of the van. They get mounted this way. Then you tighten them all along the bottom of the hood, so it shouldn't affect the paint side of the hood, because that's where this side is. And then you use this to secure the light you have. So looks like this just goes, oh my gosh, that is so simple. Look it just clips over. That's it. Clips on. It's got the rubber to protect it up there. And you just screw it on from the bottom. That's awesome. And then you can just slide it to wherever you want it, screw it from the bottom and secure it. I think I'm gonna put this right over in the far edge over here. That way it keeps the light out of my line of sight from regular driving. And yeah, just point the light this way. Everything here seems pretty good. I had to put a little washer between here. So I'll show you guys on the next one before I put it on. Because what was happening is never mind, it's not gonna make any sense until I show you. Yeah, I'm worried that thing's just gonna bounce too much. I don't know if I really trust that. Look at that. We'll find out. Last thing I want to do is crack the hood, you know what I mean? Because then there goes all the tyro. Ah, that scares me now. They do make a bracket for these that when you take this apart, it mounts to the actual hinge. It's called a A-frame bracket or something like that. It just comes up, it's a funky little bracket, comes up this way, and then the light stays here. I am not sure how I feel about that. If I didn't have the tyro coating on my van, I wouldn't give a crap. You break the hood, I'll get another one. But this one here, it's like, what happens? What happens if it breaks? Then I gotta go get the hood resprayed and try to get the consistency to match, you know? Here's the back of it. That is flush, okay? Take a look at that rubber. When you screw it in too tight, the screw, you see it? The screw comes all the way through. So I had to put an extra washer in here. That way it only just bit into it, so it didn't break the hood, because that would just literally punch a hole right in the top of the hood. The reason why I say punch a hole is the hoods on the Ford Econoline vans are fiberglass. If you didn't know, now you know. It's weird being in the shop though, like in the van when it's rainy, oh, you know it's rainy. Because all you can hear is tick, 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 tick. The rain tinkering on the roof. In the shop here, you have to be pretty darn silent to realize it's a miserable day outside. So, because of the play that's over here, in some ways I'm thinking I should have mounted them here, because a lot of that play I think is coming from the weakness on the corner here. Because that's just like, that's metal. That's not. We're gonna roll with it and see. So this rotating one's a pain in the butt, so in order to tighten the rotating one, we gotta take the top off just to tighten that one. We're gonna get it wired up first, and then we'll see what the angles and stuff look like. So I went out and bought myself some really good tools. Like these, what do they call it? Klein tools? Yeah, Klein tools. These wire strippers are like some next level stuff. Look at this stuff. Awesome. Right here is a junction point. I am taping it shut. So there's 3 sets of wires that come in here. One that's going back to the switch, one that goes to the passenger side light, and then the other one's the driver's side light. These connections here have been soldered and then wrapped with heat shrink, and now I'm putting electrical tape around it. I just want to make sure no water gets through, because sometimes my van can, you know, see a substantial amount of water, and I'm just making sure that things are safe and I don't have a fire. It's better overkill than underkill. This is the lower piece below my steering wheel. These screw holes here is where my binoculars go, and there used to be 3 rocker switches in there, and I hated them because they were always popping out all the time, and sometimes the wires would come off the back. They were all, you know, glued in there because over the last year and some they just kept falling out. So I'm removing these 3 and adding this rocker. The reason why I did it this way is, well, because it can screw right into the outside. John put a set of switches over here for my locker and my compressor, and it screws in and they're solid. I hated these ones. So at least this way the rockers are secured to the metal plate, and the metal plate will be screwed right into the actual piece of plastic. So wish me luck. Looks way better than it did before. Yeah, that's what happens when you do wiring. You got this stuff all over my seat. But damn, come on now. Whoa. Whoa. That's nuts. Look at that. Man. That should cut through everything, and then add the light bar to that. The big white light bar up there. That's crazy. Got my binoculars back on here. Overhead light bar. This one's my lower fog lights. This one here is my, 2 of them on my hood. Heck yeah. All 3 of them on. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, snap. One open one here. And this one is my interior light in the front. Holy crap. Boy, is that ever gonna be bright up there in the trail. Wow, this is insane. This is officially the very first project that I did in this shop for me. What do you think? I can't wait to get this thing out on the trail and on a foggy day where you can see all the little fog rays in the lights, get the cameras out front with that really dramatic music. So good. Oh man, where's all this stuff go? It goes in the van. Oh, we need some beer. What do we got? Let's go for something light tonight, like a Pilsner. Oh shit. Hey Crizzy, how was your day today, buddy? We got a lot accomplished. Well, you slept.